We've been smelling pork and thinking about pork and dealing with pork and delighting in pork for 12 plus hours. Now we have to let it rest for like 30 minutes to an hour. What do you think the chances are that I make that? I don't know. I'd bet on me if I were you, because I'm either gonna make it or I'm not gonna make it, but either way, I'm having pork. Okay, see you in a few more minutes. Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm really happy to have you here, and happy Father's Day. If you're a dad, you have a dad, or you just have dad energy, this one is for you. Today, we're cooking an 8-pound pork shoulder on our smoker. It's gonna be a couple-day affair, starting on a Friday morning, ending on a Saturday evening, and just in time for Father's Day. The method here is not simple, unfortunately. It's one that people have honed over decades in the kitchen, and one that I'm relatively new to. I'm gonna show you the way that I do it so that leftovers are easy to transform into many other dishes throughout the week, because 8 pounds is a lot of meat. First, I start the day before, coating it very liberally with a rub of your choice, storing it uncovered in your fridge for about 12 to 24 hours. Some people even do it for longer than that. Then, on the day that you're planning to actually smoke the meat, calculate back from the time you want to serve it, minimum of 10 to 12 hours, depending on the size of your pork shoulder. I've started this at 3 in the morning before, because setting an alarm is much less stressful than having a dinner party full of folks waiting for your pork shoulder to come to temperature. You don't want to speed this process. It's better to have it done significantly sooner than later. On this morning, I was able to get up about 6:30, preheat the smoker, and get it on the smoker by 7 a.m. Good morning. Welcome back to my kitchen. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. I've just finished preheating my traeger. Shows the dedication to the craft when you haven't even had your coffee yet. Today is an exciting day. I'm smoking a pork shoulder that I'm gonna get on the traeger in just a few minutes when it comes to temperature this morning. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. And then this week, we're gonna take the leftover pulled pork, which we will definitely have, and recreate it in 3 different dishes, or until I run out of pulled pork. Hope you'll stick with me. So I've been chilling this pork shoulder uncovered in the fridge overnight. There's all sorts of recipes that allow you to brine even further in advance than that. But for me, the night before is perfect. I'll show you the mix that I use. Special tools and equipment for this one, there's a lot. Of course, you need a smoker. I use a spritz bottle. I'll spritz with apple cider vinegar for the first several hours. And then I use 3 different probes. One connects to my traeger and I can see it on the app, which is pretty cool. The other 2 are thermometer probes that I can keep inside my house. You don't want to be opening up the smoker every few minutes to check on your pork. So I'm going to place my probes and get it on the smoker when the smoker heats up. So the only point of doing 3 probes actually is because I'm kind of new to smoking, and so I want to make sure that I have a good indication of the temperature of the meat in a few different places. So just trying to get as many data points as I can to determine when the pork is done. We're at about 39 degrees on these probes. I actually have 2 probe alarms set on this for 165, so this will start beeping at me when either of those hits 165. It just stays in my windowsill all day, like a happy little reminder that we're gonna have delicious pulled pork in a few hours. So let's get this baby on the grill. This pork shoulder will go in at 225 until it hits about 165, and then I will wrap it, do a couple other fun things to it, and put it back in the smoker until about 204 degrees. What seems to be the temperature that the experts say is the best to have nice fall off the bone pork shoulder. That whole process will probably take anywhere from 9 to 12 hours. I always try to start as early as I can so that if I want to serve this to a crowd, I'm not up against a deadline. It is definitely not fun to try to prepare a giant piece of meat really quickly that you've spent a lot of time on, kind of ruin it in those last couple hours. And we have officially reached the stall. For the last 2.5 to 3 hours, my pork has been in the 140s and 150s. The stall happens somewhere around this temperature. The cooking process appears to stall out. It's science. I really don't understand it. I just know that it happens every time I put something on the smoker. So we're just patiently awaiting that 165 temperature. But if you're keeping track, from 7 a.m. to noon, 5 hours, it went from 40 degrees up to 140 degrees. And then since noon, 2 hours ago, it's only risen about 12 degrees. I expect it'll stay here for another hour at least. So we're just continuing to apple cider vinegar spritz, and I'll check back in with you at 165. Hello! Happy Father's Day from a much more awake version of myself. It's 4 p.m. and we're getting darn close. Both of our probes are above 160, so it's time to start getting ready for the next step of this smoking journey. But I would be remiss if I didn't point out how long it's taken to move from like mid 140s to 160. So the stall that they talk about is real, and when I first started smoking, it really concerned me. I thought that I had just broken the pork shoulder. You really can't do that. So the next step of this journey, though, is to simply make a beautiful bath for our pork to sit in. Give it a little bit of a shower with some butter and some brown sugar. And then we're gonna wrap it tightly in foil, put it back on the smoker, but at a much higher temperature. As with everything on the internet, there are thousands of opinions about the right way to do this. I would encourage you to experiment with a whole bunch of different things, because what's right for one person who has 50 years of experience might not be right for you who has 1 year of experience, or for me who has 1 year of experience. So while this might not be the perfect way, this is a great way that produces reliably tender, juicy, delicious pork. And I've spiced it this time quite subtly so that we can use this pulled pork for several different dishes throughout the week to help you get the most bang for your buck out of this pork shoulder. This meal is an investment. It's an 8-pound piece of meat. For me, I think that was about $50, which is a lot of money. The only downside to smoking pork is that you're gonna be thinking about eating pulled pork all day long. And my dogs have been incredibly unsettled today, as they are every time that I cook anything on the smoker, because the smells are amazing. So what you'll need for this next step, if you're using the Texas crutch method, is a base of apple cider. So just a couple cups maybe of apple cider for the pork to bathe in. A couple tablespoons of butter. I'll probably use 5 or 6 tablespoons of butter to dot over the top of the pork. Quite a bit of brown sugar, maybe about a cup of brown sugar. You can scale this up or back as you want, but I've found that that sweetness in the back of that 8 pounds of pork and all of the jus that we're making is really delightful. And then I just have an aluminum pan and some aluminum foil. So I'm going to pull the pork off when it hits 165. We're almost there, a few minutes. Pull it off, put it in the pan, cover it with the ingredients, put it back on. And I'll see you when we get there. Here we are. We're at 165 on at least one of the probes, which is good enough for me. I've bumped the heat on the smoker up to 350, so it's preheating at 350. And now we're just gonna transfer our delightful looking pork into our aluminum pan. So one of the best things I invested in when I started this smoking journey were these heat-proof gloves, because you can really just lift the meat up and transfer it directly. You can also use a spatula or some other kitchen implement. Sometimes you have to adjust your probes, and the best practice is not to move them at all. People are pretty particular about keeping moisture within the meat, and if you create additional holes in the meat, that could potentially let some moisture out. But I am actually gonna move this one, which is hot, so that our pork can nestle down into the bath we're gonna give it. Actually, that's good enough. A fair amount of the pork is on the bottom of the aluminum pan. I did want to show you one thing though. Remember when I filled this bottle full of apple cider vinegar? I've used all but probably a tablespoon of it, and that was just spritzing it over the pork throughout the day. The first thing I'm going to do is pour a couple of cups, there's no exact measurement here, but a couple of cups of apple cider in the bottom of our pan. That's up probably about ½ inch or so. Then I'm going to pack on some brown sugar. Keep in mind, this is 8 pounds of meat, so it's not like we're dosing it too heavily. But just do what feels right for you. If you don't want to do this step, don't do it. If you'd prefer to get all your flavor out of that initial rub, great. If you want to put more of a rub on at this step, feel free to do it. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I certainly don't have the experience to do that. But this is just what I've enjoyed and what's worked for me. So I used all but about 1/4 of a cup of that. And then the last step is to dot some butter over the top. Keep in mind that just like any other gravy, we can strain this at the end, and we will do that. I'll separate some of the fat out so that we're only getting that good flavorful juice, or so that we're mostly getting that good flavorful juice. But this is ready to go back in, so I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash, wrap it in aluminum foil, toss it back on the smoker. Okay, now we wrap. And our temperature now is at 161, so we've lost a couple degrees, but the faster I get it back on the smoker, the faster it'll come back up. So back to the smoker. So my new alarms are going to be set at 2:04. Both set at 2:04. The Traeger alarm is set at 200. It's a little bit off usually, so I'll start really drooling when one of the alarms hits 200, but we're gonna hold out for 2:04. It's gonna be a few more hours. So 4:15 right now. See you soon. 3 out of 3 probes and 2 out of 2 dogs recommend pulling our pork butt off the smoker. Look at that beauty. So this is somewhat anticlimactic because now we have to let it rest for like 30 minutes to an hour. It's 7:10. If we let it rest appropriately, we'll be eating pulled pork at around 8. All I'm gonna do is take her out of the pan, put it on a cutting board, cover with another piece of foil, set it aside, and try to forget about it for about an hour. That doesn't ever work for me. I'm usually picking pieces off, but we're gonna try it. I am gonna pull the probes out. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people leave them in until it's completely cooled, but if we've done our job well, it feels like there should be plenty of moisture in this pork. Also, if we've done our job well, when we transfer it from this aluminum foil onto this cutting board, it should kind of fall apart. Point proven. We're still gonna let it rest, even though I kind of ruined the juice redistribution. Maybe we'll just accidentally leave a little piece out. Cover it, move it aside. Try our best to forget about it. I'm just gonna pull this tiny little piece out, see what happens with that. So the thing that we actually can do in the interim is pour our jus into this container and separate some of the fat. Just take whatever's left in the bottom of our pan and pour it into our fat separator. Now this also goes to the side, but there's a couple of little meaty bits. Should we taste it? Falls apart in my mouth. We're gonna set this aside. Fair amount of fat is gonna rise to the top. When we shred our pork and put it back actually in this container, I'm gonna use the remainder of the jus to keep it completely moist and flavorful. Okay, 7:15, we'll see you in an hour. Just checking in from 7:30. Wanted to give you a status/progress update because I know your question is, what have you been doing for the last 15 minutes? That's a great question. I'd like to tell you, I emptied my recycle bin, I emptied my compost bin, I did all of the dishes, I hardly I stared at that pork shoulder. I continued staring at that pork shoulder. And yeah, so that's 15 minutes and we've got 45 more to go. What do you think the chances are that I make that? Happy to report it has been many, many, many moments later. It's 7:35. I don't have any more in me. My self-control is gone. We've been smelling pork and thinking about pork and dealing with pork and delighting in pork and talking about pork for 12 plus hours now, 12 and a half hours. I think it's time that we eat some pork. So take any of the juices that have run off of this pork and try to pour them back into the fat separator because there's a fair amount of juices. So now it's time to pull the pork. Because I've let this rest for so long and have had such extreme, enviable patience, I'm sure it's gonna be cool enough to handle, but I'm still gonna grab tongs. All right, here it is. That's the bone, comes right out. Shreds up beautifully. We were successful. We have to taste some, don't we? I tell you what, pulled pork is just so good. What you're looking for is the smoke ring. Let's see if I can find a good piece that will show you. So you can see how red it is. So that pink is the smoke ring. That shows that we were successful in doing our job. It's tasty, it's delicious, it's juicy. This is really like a dream come true after 12 hours worth of work. So once we get it all shredded, the only thing left to do, take our jus. The fat has separated out, as you can see that dark line across the top. We're gonna take our jus, we're gonna release the jus until we get down to that fat line. So I'm gonna keep shredding up this pork. We're gonna let it soak. Whatever we don't eat this evening, we're gonna let it soak. And then this week, I'm gonna show you delightful recipes to use up the rest of this pulled pork. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's smoking adventure, whether you have a smoker or not. And wherever you are in the world today, with whomever you're celebrating Father's Day or not, I hope you have a beautiful day. To all the fathers out there who are actual fathers or fathers in spirit or just have dad energy, thank you for being you. We'll see you next time. Cheers.